Welcome to lecture 5 on stochastic processes. So, in lecture 4, I have discussed about Markov chain, transition probabilities, and Chapman-Kolmogorov equations. Now, in this lecture, I am going to discuss about time homogeneous Markov chain with some examples. So, what we have seen that we have denoted Pij Mn as probability xn is equals to j given that xm is equals to I. That means at time m the process was in state I, and then at time n it is in state j. Obviously n is greater than m here. So this was the notation, and the Chapman-Kolmogorov equation was there, which says that Pij Mn is equals to summation k belongs to S Pik Ml Pkj Ln. These two things, this is the Chapman-Kolmogorov equations. Okay. Now, if I focus on one step transition probability, then it will be probability that xm plus 1 is j given that xm is equals to I. Now, if your process is such that this probability is independent of m, if it is independent of m, then we call that our process is a time homogeneous Markov chain. That means a process which is a Markov chain and its one step transition probability is independent of the current state. That means this is independent of m. So then this process is known as time homogeneous Markov process. And if it is time homogeneous Markov chain, then what will happen if, for example, we find two step transition probability Pij m plus 2. If I find out this, what it will give us by Chapman-Kolmogorov equation, this is summation k belongs to S P I k m plus 1 P k j m plus 1 to m plus 2. That means what is happening? This is time m, this is time m plus 2. At time m you are at state I, and at time m plus 2 you are at state j. Now in between there is a time m plus 1. We assume that the process is in state k, and then it can be in any state k. So this is the Chapman-Kolmogorov equations. So if you see, this is Pik m plus 1, that means this is one step transition probability, and by assumption this transition probability will not depend upon m. Again, this is again a one step transition probability, so this will again not depend upon m. So this expression, whatever we are getting here, Pik kj, this is again independent of m, and it contains two probabilities. So we denote it Pij with 2, only 2. So this way we denote the time homogeneous Markov chain. So similarly you can show that, for example, if I further find out 3 step transition probability, for example Pij m to m plus 3. Okay. So what it will give us? Again, if this is time m, this is m plus 3. So in between you can take m plus 2 for example, or you can take m plus 1, it depends upon you. So here what it says, here you are at state I, now you are in state j, and in between there is a state k. So k can be anything. Now you move from I to k, from m to m plus 2, then you move from k to j, m plus 2 to m plus 3. Now see, you have seen that this two-step transition probability also depends, also independent of m, and we have denoted it by PIK2, and this is PKJ one-step transition probability. So again, this can be written as PIJ3. So in general, you can say that all the higher order transition probabilities, they will be independent upon m. So we can write it down in this way, that Pij m to m plus n, for example. So this can be written as probability x m plus n is equals to j, given that xm is equals to I. So you can say that this only depends upon n. That means the difference between m and m plus n. So this is time m, this is m plus n. So what is the difference? Difference is n. So it only depends upon the difference. For example, here it depends upon 2 and here it depends upon 1. So it only depends upon this. So this is the time homogeneous Markov chain. So if your Markov chain is a time homogeneous, then what is the Chapman-Kolmogorov equation? So Chapman-Kolmogorov equations, if you focus upon them, so Pij, for example, if I want to Pij in m plus n steps, okay. So what it will give you? It will give you k belongs to S. You move from I to k in m steps, then you move from k to j in n steps. So this is the time homogeneous Markov chain, and these are the Chapman-Kolmogorov equations for that. So these are very useful, and they have very simplified version also. If I find out a matrix P, which we will call it transition probability matrix, okay. So what we are going to do here, so I am defining a probability matrix. I am defining a matrix P is equals to P11, P12, dot dot dot. For example, there are your sample state spaces containing 1, 2, or for example up to only k. So this will move up to 1k. That means P21, P22 and P2, I should, instead of k, I will take some n, okay. So Pn1, Pn2 and Pnn. So this matrix is actually giving you that if you consider this is 1, then this is 1. So this is 2 and this is n, 2 and n. So what it gives you? It gives you the probabilities, transition probabilities from one state to another state. So first row gives you the transition probabilities when you move from state 1 to 1, 2 and n. Similarly, the second gives you the probabilities, and third. So if you focus upon this, if you find out P11 plus P12 plus P1n, so it will come out to be 1, because from state 1 you can move from state 1 you can go to state 1, state 2 or state n. So similarly, all these sums P2, this is n, P2j, j from 1 to n, all these will be 1. Similarly, you can write it down in general, Pij, j from 1 to n is equals to 1. That means row sum will be 1. So this is known as transition probability matrix. Now we will focus upon, because they are independent of time, so they represents the time homogeneous Markov chain. Now if you focus upon these equations which we have written here, first equation we have written here, this, if I focus upon this, Pij2 is this, okay. So now we will focus upon this equation, we will focus upon this one, and in general you can focus upon this one. So what these equations are doing actually, so if you focus upon these equations, what it says, Pij2 is k belongs to S, Pik and Pkj. So if you see, there is a matrix P11, P12, P1n, P21, P22, P2n, and for example there is a Pi1, Pi2, and this is Pin, then there is Pn1, Pn2 and Pnn. So this is your matrix P. Similarly, you can write down again this matrix P11, P21 and Pi1, Pn1. Now there will be a Pk1, Pk2 and Pkj. This is wrong. P1k, P2k and Pik, and then Pnk, and at last this is P1n, P2n, Pin and this Pnn. So if you focus upon this, and if you take the ith row and kth column, so what you will get, if you multiply these two numbers, you will get Pi1 multiplied by P1k, then Pi2, P2k. So you will get this way, I1. So instead of k, the better notation will be j. Okay, that will be more good. So j, if I put it j here, then it is more clear. So Pi1, P1j, Pi2, then P2j, and so on. So you can see this is nothing but it is the product of ith row of P and jth column of P. So you can say that this is the ijth element of P square. So this gives you actually very important thing. That means if you find out the two-step transition probabilities in time homogeneous Markov chain, just find out P square and find out the ijth element of that. So if I want to find out Pij in two steps, this will be nothing but P square, that means, and Ij, that means the ijth element of P square. So now you can understand. Similarly, you can find out Pij 3. So you can show that it is nothing but ijth element of P cube. So what is our Chapman-Kolmogorov equation? That says that Pm plus n is nothing but Pm into Pn. So this is for time homogeneous Markov chain. So it actually simplifies the calculations in a very good way. And now we will see if we know the initial distribution. For example, if you know that Qk is probability that x naught is equals to k. So if you know the initial distribution and k belongs to S, so this is initial distribution. So if you know this, then you can find many things. So we are actually representing Q1, Q2 and Q. For example, there are n states. So if you represent this vector as x naught, so it is known as distribution of x naught, that means initial distribution. Okay. So now if I want to find probability that what is the distribution in the next step, that means after one step our process will be in state I. So what is that? So if you just apply conditional total probability theorem, then it says that this is x1 is equals to I, given that because you start from some state, so I call it k, and then probability that x naught is equals to k, and of course k belongs to S. So what it says that there is a time 0, there is a time 1, and at time 1 you want to be in state I. So at time 0 you can be in any state k, and then you move from k to I. So you start from state k and then you move from k to I, and but k can be anything. So k belongs to S. So if I simplify this and if I rewritten it here, P x naught is equals to k multiplied by P x1 is equals to I, given that x naught is equals to k. So if I write it down in our notations, so this is nothing but k belongs to S, this is qk, and this probability is pki. So again, if you focus upon two things, then this is nothing but x naught vector multiplied by p. You can see what was our x naught vector. So our x naught vector is this. This is our x naught vector. So this is x naught multiplied by p, and then we are finding some element of that vector. Okay. So this is I'll show you. So this is x1 vector. That means what is x1? Again, in the same way, we are representing all these probabilities. So, if you represent all these probabilities, so what is your x1 vector? X1 vector is probability that x1 is 1, probability that x1 is 2, and probability that x1 is n. So, this is your x1 vector. So, in matrix notation you can write down this way, but remember that this cannot be this is not same as p into x naught, because you know that in matrix this multiplication may not be valid. So, these are the some basic ideas. Now, we will see some examples. So, now we will see some examples on time homogeneous Markov chain. So, first example is random walk between two barriers. So, there is a state, there is a particle, and this particle can move from these many places. We call that states 0, 1 to k. So, what are the rules of movement? The rules are, if it is in between 1 to k minus 1, then it can move forward with probability p. For example, it moves from state r to r plus 1 with probability p, and it can move from state r to r minus 1 with probability q, which is 1 minus p. And then r can be between 0 and k, because r can be from 1 to k minus 1. That means we are not including the boundaries, because the rules of movement at the boundaries are different. For example, if it is on the right hand side boundary, that means at state k, then it can remain at state k with probability b, or it can move backward to state k minus 1 with probability 1 minus b. Similarly, if it is on the boundary on the left hand side, then it can remain at position 0 with probability a, or it can move forward to state 1 with probability 1 minus a. So, if we consider that capital Xn is position of the particle after n steps, then one can easily see that this is a time homogeneous Markov chain, and its transition probability matrix will be this, because if you move from 0 to 0, there is a probability a associated with that. If you move from 0 to 1, there is a probability 1 minus a, and you cannot move from 0 to other states, so probabilities will be 0. Similarly, if you move from 1 to 0, there is a probability q. You move from 1 to 1, which is not possible, probability is 0. You move from 1 to 2, probability with p, and so on. So, similarly, if you are at state k, you can move backward to state k minus 1 with probability 1 minus b, or you can remain there with probability b. So, we can easily write down the transition probability matrix. Now, there are some special cases. If a is 0, if a is 0 means you cannot move from 0 to 0, that means you have to move from 0 to 1. So, this is known as reflecting barrier, because you cannot remain there at 0. So, that 0 is known as reflecting barrier. If a is 1 and you put here, then you will remain at 0 once you enter in 0. So, state 0 will be known as absorbing barrier. Similarly, for state k, if b is 0, then it will be reflecting barrier. If b is 1, it will be absorbing barrier. And if a and b are between 0 and 1, they are known as elastic barriers. So, second example, we have already gone through this example in introduction lecture, no claim discount. Now, if there are three possibilities, 0% discount, 20% discount, and 40% discount, and rules are all the new policy holders will be in 0% discount, and if one policy holder does not make any claim in the current year, he or she moves towards 20% discount, that means 1 upward. And again, if there is no claim, the next discount level will be 40%. And if you are in 40% and you are not making any claim, you will remain there. But if you are making one or more claim, then you will move backward to 20%. And if you are in 20% and you are making claim, you will move towards 0%. And if you are in 0% and you are making claim, you will remain at 0%. So if I consider that probability of no claim is 3 by 4, then we can write down the probabilities, because from 0 to 20 it is only possible when you do not make any claim. So probability of movement from 0 to 20 is 3 by 4. Similarly, from 20 to 40 it is 3 by 4. Similarly, from 40 to 40 it is again 3 by 4. And from 40 to 20 it is 1 by 4. From 20 to 0 it is 1 by 4. And from 0 to 0 it is 1 by 4. So if I represent 0 by 1, 20% discount class by 2, and 40% discount by 3, then this will be the transition probability matrix. And this graph is known as transition graph. It may be very useful, very helpful to understand the process pictorially. Now we will see one example and see how can we find the probabilities. So suppose that the probability of an dry day, we represent it by state 0, following a rainy day, which is state 1, is 1 by 3. And that the probability that a rainy day following a dry day is 1 by 2. So given that July 1 is a dry day, find the probability that July 3 is a dry day. So we since nothing has been given here, this one can understand this is a time homogeneous Markov chain. And if I represent xn as a state of the nth day, then assume that the process starts from July 1. So what was July 1? July 1 is a dry day. That means x1 will be 0 and the probability matrix will be this. So be careful here. What is written? Probability of a dry day following a rainy day. That means going from state 1 to 0 is 1 by 3. So 1 to 0 is 1 by 3. So 1 to 1 will be 2 by 3. Similarly, this probability that a rainy day following a dry day, so it will be half. So this is your one step transition probability matrix. Now what is the question says that find out the probability that July 3 is a dry day. That means mathematically x3 is 0. We have to find this given that x1 was 0. So if you focus on timeline, at time 1 it was 0, at time 3 it was 0, at time 2 it can be 1 or 0. So we want to find that what is the probability that x3 is 0 given that x1 is 0. So that means you want to find two step transition probabilities, that means P002. And we know that if you want to find two step transition probability, then we just find P square, and from P square you just find out 0000 means the states representing movement from 0 to 0, which is the first element, 1 element. So here in this P square I have just found the 1 element. I have not found other 3 elements because you can do those calculations which are not required here. So this comes out to be 5 by 12. Another method, you can find out the probability from going from 0 to 1 and then from 1 to 0 and 0 to 0 and 0 to 0, then add them, you will again find out 5 by 12. So these are the examples related to time homogeneous Markov chain. So just go through some books and see some more examples and find out the different probabilities. In next lecture we will see how we classify states in Markov chain. Thank you.